What is up, everyone? It's Kanan,
It's Jessie.
and we're the Geeky Saying Couple back with another video. And yesterday was a pretty big day. Sadly, no reaction because it was my day off, and I'm not getting up at 10 o'clock in the morning on my day off. Um, Maybe one day when the channel is really huge and all that, I'll get up before 10 o'clock to watch certain things. But Sora is finally in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Now, even though neither of us are huge Smash fans, I played Smash a little bit back during the Melee days on the GameCube and for Brawl on the Wii. But fighting games just are not my cup of tea. I don't think they're really yours either, in a way. Unless they have like a really good story mode and stuff like that. I've never had anyone to really play with. Now, of course, I've got Jess, but Jess isn't into fighting games either.
I think at cons are the only ones that we've sat down and maybe played for a few minutes because they had characters in it that we liked. But
Yeah.
other than that, I don't really.
Yeah, now I played the crap out of Brawl when it first came out because I loved the story mode it had and unlocking the characters and all that. But I just never, even though like they added Byleth and all that, and I love Three Houses and all that, and it had some of my favorite characters in it, I just never dropped the money down for Smash Brothers. I don't know if I will for Sora, but I'll definitely get the amiibo if they make one, which I'm sure they will. But this is special for us because Kingdom Hearts has a special place for both me and Jess. Now, I can't remember how you stumbled upon Kingdom Hearts.
My ex.
Okay. Well,
Started playing it and I walked by the room that he was playing a game in and I see Tigger jumping around with somebody with spiky hair. I stopped. What is that?
yeah, like what the heck is this? Who
I was introduced. See, I was introduced out of order though, so I was introduced to two before anything else. But the thing is a lot of people that don't remember is when I was in high school, nobody knew how much of a nerd I was. I hid that, so along with everything else. So I never had anybody to show me those things until I stumbled across the high school sweetheart that I had.
So you didn't stumble upon it till at least after Kingdom Hearts 2 was out. So
Yeah.
that would have been around 2006. Me, I saw a commercial for it. Now, growing up, just like Jess, I was a huge Disney kid. I think me and Jess grew up during one of the best eras for Disney. That being the, late 80s into the early 90s into the early 2000s. Because you had Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, The Lion King.
Most of our collection that we have of Disney movies are all the old stuff.
Yeah,
like
The Hunchback of Notre Dame, just all these just great animated movies that came out around that time. Disney has kind of a little bit since
hit or
then.
miss. Some of them, some of the newer ones have come out really good.
Yeah, I think it's because I prefer the old style animation. I'm not a big fan of CGI and all that, but
Just like the live actions are.
Yeah. But
Depending.
I grew up as a huge Disney kid, but as I got older, into my teens, I, stumbled upon Japanese RPGs, and of course Final Fantasy. So I became a huge RPG fan, a huge Square fan. At that time they were called Squaresoft. And
I didn't have anybody to show me any of that stuff either. So otherwise, if I did, I would have gotten into it sooner.
Well, anime got me into RPGs because,
I got into that really early.
Because to me,
clearly,
the spiky hair, the going on adventure, leveling up, which I saw as training for bosses and all that, it related to anime for me. So I got into those, and one day
I never knew that there was games. I just thought they were just animes that I watched.
So one day I saw a commercial, and it featured a kid who looked like he belonged in a Final Fantasy game with a key for a weapon going around all these Disney worlds with Donald and Goofy. And I was like, what the heck is this? And saw that Squaresoft was making it and all that. And so, of course, I saw the connection. It was pretty much and also Cloud was in the trailer and Sephiroth. And I was like, what is going on? And it was pretty much a Final Fantasy and Disney crossover that you never thought would work. And I'll never forget, my dad had gotten a hold of a drum set because I was really into music, and I never could learn a drum set if my life depended on it. I'm more of a bass player kind of guy.
I regret not learning the drums, actually.
Even though I still don't know how to play the bass. I know one riff, and that's about it. But they were mine. I sold them to a family friend for $100. I spent that $100 on Kingdom Hearts. So I always, I kind of feel a bit of pride that I've been a fan since the first one on the PlayStation 2 in 2002. I was a freshman in high school. I played, like, this game was just so hot to me. I was like, how is this kid going to interact with Donald Duck and Goofy? And how is Donald and Goofy going to interact with characters from other Disney movies? That, you know, it was just, I was so intrigued. Why is the weapon a key, you know? And, you know, this is the current collection that we own. You know, we own the entire series. I've played all but Magical Melody. I've played through at least close to 10 times. So I'd like to think that I'm really up on the lore of Kingdom Hearts, and just, you know, I can't wait for the next game. I need to play Magical Melody a good few number of times. That's the one I've played the least.
I forgot the heart that I made use over there too.
Yeah, she's made me several things. We've gotten a hold of several things. Like
we
Aqua,
own the Keyblades.
yeah, Aqua has went from being like my favorite female protagonist to like being my favorite protagonist in the series altogether.
And your cosplay necklace is up there too.
Yeah. We actually cosplayed Sora and Kairi for Kingdom Hearts 3's early release because I had to work that night. This is when I still worked at GameStop. So that was the first and sadly only time I wore a cosplay to work.
And that was the last biggest release I think that we were able to actually do.
Yeah, which, I mean, that was a good few years ago. That was a good couple of years before COVID. But
everyone that walked in loved it.
Yeah, that was just nothing that came out after that really made us want to. Plus, I worked at GameStop, so if we did have an early release, I just brought it home. I just bought it and brought it home with me.
But for something like that, it was a big deal, and especially.
Well, yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3 was a big deal. That was the longest line I had seen at that time working for GameStop for an RPG, for a Japanese RPG.
And the customers loved the fact that, I mean, I wasn't working there at the time, but he was working there and he was allowed to cosplay, which to me that is kind of attracts more to get more people excited about it. So. You know, it was definitely a fun night. I didn't mind standing there all night because I was in cosplay, so.
It was very early versions of Sora and Kairi's Kingdom Hearts 3 looks. Like,
We're redoing this.
Yeah, I think Jess has went back and looked and like, oh yeah, that's different.
But
I need to do this.
I wanted to make it as comfortable and quick. You know, I kind of closet cosplayed that for him and made it that way, but we wanted it comfortable because, especially since it was the first versions, I knew it wasn't our final ones. So, and we took those to a con as well. And you walked around in slippers all day, so it was pretty damn comfortable for you.
But other than that, Kingdom Hearts is a series that has touched us emotionally. Like, it's a very emotion-driven game series. Like, I know a lot of people crap on the plot. The plot's really not that complex if you pay attention. And
I kind of get Kairi a bit dirty and 3.
Yeah, but they kind of made up for that.
I did, but still kind of makes me a little mad.
The DLC gave her time to shine, plus Magical Melody is pretty much her game. So they've made up for that. But it's one of the few game series where I've actually shed tears. I cried at the end of the first one, when Riku stayed in the Land of Darkness, I cried during Birth by Sleep, because Birth by Sleep is just a very depressing. I cried during Days. Days is a very depressing game. I cry when Kingdom Hearts 1.5 came out, the first re-release on the PS3. I cried during the title screen because it reminded me of when I first played the game in 2002. And of course, I cried on the main menu screen of Kingdom Hearts 3.
So did I.
It was just. Now, we're not the type of fans who only, Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and 3, those are the only. No, trust me. Everything is important in this series. You have to play literally every game. Just because there's a number at the end of the title does not mean it's more important than any others. Birth by Sleep is important. Chain of Memories is important. Even Coded is important in some ways.
He's the reason why I ended up, when I still lived in Ohio, I had all the games.
Yeah,
at least that I could.
As the remasters came out, I sent her the... Because she didn't have a PS3.
Yeah, until I was able to get one from someone secondhand.
Which is kind of what we use for our
yeah.
DVD and Blu-ray player
but
now.
Even like the DS games and stuff, like he found me a DS. I think your dad found it.
My dad found one.
And he cleaned it up and he sent it to me.
My dad worked at a salvage yard, and he would find stuff in these cars, and one was a DSi. It was in great shape. It was a little dirty, but we cleaned it up. And I had no use for it because I think at that time...
You had an old charger you sent too with me.
Yeah, I think at that time I had a 3DS XL or something like that, so I sent it to her because she didn't have one at all.
My DS was taken.
Yeah,
so.
And I went out and found Days and Coded and sent them to her because those were the only two, I think, on the DS. And I sent you all the ones I could that you had systems for.
Yeah, and I had everything that I could, and then you ended up sending me the ones. I bought the one myself because I found
which was Kingdom Hearts 2, but I sent you Kingdom Hearts 1, the PS2 version of Chain of Memories, and the 2 DS games, because you didn't have a PSP, so I couldn't send you Birth by Sleep.
No, and then all got solved now with all the release.
Yeah, now we can play them all on one system, which is awesome. I kind of hope they keep to the consoles now. Like, if they put one on the Switch, I think that's inevitable, because they also announced that they're bringing the entire series to the Switch. They're cloud versions, but, all of Kingdom Hearts is now going to be on the Switch. But if they do, I kind of hope they just... PS2, if you want to put it on Xbox, okay, and Switch, I hope they just do it on all three. I kind of don't want there to be a Switch exclusive game. I'd rather them just stay
in one.
Yeah, that way, if they come out with a Kingdom Hearts game on the PS5, you can still play the entire series on the PS5 when you're able to get one. Because let's face it, they will eventually phase out PS4 games.
But these games are more... They're more than just emotionally, special as games for us.
Well, yeah. So. Everything in the series hits different than most series. The characters, that's why I kind of feel like I'm privileged to have played these games for so long since the beginning, because that allows you to really care about the characters. Even characters that I've known about since I was a child, Donald Duck and Goofy. You attach yourself more. I relearned these characters in Kingdom Hearts because, it is slightly different versions of Donald Duck and Goofy. But, Sora, Kairi, Riku, Aqua, Ven, Terra, Axel, Xion, Roxas, all these characters, you've had time to develop a connection to them, to... people who are like, oh, my babies, you get that way. That way, when stuff happened, you were crushed. But by the time Kingdom Hearts 3 came out and you saw Ven, Aqua, and Terra reunite, you saw Axel or Lee, Xion, and Roxas reunite, you felt it with them. You cried along with them because you played Birth by Sleep. You played Days. You know what these characters went to because you had all those years for those feelings to percolate inside you as you played the games. and it was raw emotion. I literally bawled my eyes out on both those reunions. I had to pause the game because I was crying. But there's so much the music in Kingdom Hearts is, and not like the Disney themed songs, but like
the music for the game.
Yeah, like
itself.
Simple and Clean and Sanctuary and all the others, and like the instrumental versions. They just Dearly Beloved. Dearly Beloved is one of the most best main menu songs ever.
I started in college. I actually started teaching myself to play it on piano.
Yeah.
Like that's just how meaningful that the music is.
Yeah, and like just with the Smash reveal, usually Smash reveals are, they're exciting, but they're very cut and dry in a lot of ways. They took the time to make Sora's a really big deal. And one of the things that really made that reveal touching was the music they used. It just, for a Kingdom Hearts fan, that was a perfect reveal. For Sora to be the last DLC character and the way they revealed it, like I watched the trailer after the fact, and I still felt those gooey feelings in my tum-tum,
Showed it to me too, and I was, as soon as I saw the key and I started hearing, I was like, no way.
Yeah. So I wished we could have reacted to it, but like with Smash reveals, you want to hope that it's really going to happen. But then if I didn't want to risk getting up at 10 o'clock in the morning and
it not being.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But on an end note, the thing that really makes Kingdom Hearts special for us is Kingdom Hearts is pretty much what started our relationship in a way. Kingdom Hearts was the first thing me and Jess talked to each other about when we first met. And I guess, I don't know if Jess just didn't figure that I would, like, I guess from where you had hid your nerdy side so much and all that, you were relieved.
I didn't think anyone would know.
Yeah.
And I was...
Or I would have thought Kingdom Hearts was stupid or something like that.
Especially since,
because there was a lot of...
It was also revealing that I was this huge Disney nerd, too.
Yeah.
So it's like...
Yeah, because a lot of people were like, oh, Kingdom Hearts is stupid. You should just play a Final Fantasy.
I've heard that. Like, hell, I've heard... Oh, it's stupid. Play a real game.
Yeah. Like, I remember someone claimed that Kingdom Hearts was only popular because Cloud was in it. I was like, nah.
No. Let's try again.
But yes,
it started everything. Like, it means so much to us that it's actually a huge part of our wedding plans.
Like, we're going to play Dearly Beloved at the wedding, and she's got these little ideas.
Our cake design is, we're actually taking both Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball, and then Kingdom Hearts. Like, it's going to be tiered. I have a friend that's doing this, and it's a huge part of our wedding. A lot of the decorations, there's a lot of things. We're actually doing something with Keyblades in ours as well. So,
yeah, and like part of me hopes whatever comes next for Kingdom Hearts is not as long as the first arc, because I would like to live to see this series end. But yeah, Kingdom Hearts it hits different than so many other. I've never gotten, and this is honest, I've never gotten as emotionally invested in a game series than Kingdom Hearts. It's the Disney nostalgia, it's the Final Fantasy nostalgia in a way, but it's the characters, it's the storytelling, it's the music.
I think I cried the most in 3, especially when he got towards the end with the Kairi and Sora stuff, because that was another thing that just meant so much.
Yeah, because both me and her have been shipping Kairi and Sora since the first game. And
I have as soon as I saw them. So
yeah, so for us, in a way,
the cave drawing, the fruit, everything, and you can ask him. I sat there and just bawled. He played it again, and I bawled again.
Yeah, because for us,
it means so much.
For us, the Palpu fruit scene in 3 was enough. That cemented it to us that Sora and Kairi are more than friends. There's way more of this series to go. We've got at least another story arc to go.
But it was nice to have it come to a close that way to start the next.
Yeah.
So it was. It just felt really good.
Yeah. So we are happy Sora is in Smash. Will it be enough for me to actually buy Smash at some point? Maybe. I don't know. Definitely getting the amiibo for collection purposes. Hopefully I can get it. They haven't announced one yet, but let's face it.
Yeah.
They make an amiibo for every Smash fighter. So he'll be getting one. So definitely be getting that. And yeah, we just wanted to do the special little video because it is a special occasion. Hopefully we can get this up today. We've been having major internet issues. But hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please hit that subscribe button. We are getting very close to 500 subs. We want to hit that before 2022 starts. Please like the video. Leave us a comment. Tell us your stories with the Kingdom Hearts series. Are you excited that Sora is in Smash? And we'll see you guys in the next one. This is Kanan.
This is Jessie.
We love you all very, very much. Stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves. Bye.
Bye.